Hello from the other side. I'm joking. Hello everyone, my name is Orolua Shonibare and you are on Divide Podcast. Maybe I actually do one of those intros. You're welcome to Divide. I'm joking. But I listen to this. If it looks good, maybe I even just use this as an intro to get. But yeah, you're welcome to another episode of Divide. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about something very interesting. And we're going to be talking about relationships. Relationships and how they work. How do you find a good partner? In fact, what makes a good partner? Why do relationships work? Why don't relationships work? What are the elements that you need? And I'm going to try my best to really simplify what I'm about to talk about. I think, yes, there's been a lot of breakfast trends everywhere. Everybody, today relationships are here, tomorrow they are not. It's winter is coming. Sorry, breakfast is coming. But breakfast is not coming for you in Jesus' name. Amen. There are many reasons why there's a lot of this breakfast thingy going around. One major reason I think is because people are being pressured to get into relationships. A lot of people don't know what makes a relationship work. A lot of people have an imagination of what a relationship is. People think relationships are like Wonderland and everything's just going well, If you meet the love of your life along, but you people will not fight. You will always be aligned. In fact, before you think a thought, you'll be thinking it. In fact, before she, as she's talking to you, you already be seeing your wife in her. It's so obvious. As in, like, have you seen this marriage? They never fight. As I've seen them in public, they've never fought before. Before, people they fight in public. But basically, jokes apart now, relationships are more than just a playing ground. Yes, people have fun in relationships. Yes, people grow in relationships. Yes, your relationship partner is meant to pour into you and build you. But for a relationship to truly thrive, for a relationship to thrive, there needs to be an alignment. That's basically what I'm going to be talking about on this episode. I'm not going to be diving too deeply into why breakfast is so rampant. I will do that in another episode, I think. But one of the things I want to talk about today is what makes a good relationship. What are the elements that make a sustainable relationship? I think there's a lot of conversation about relationships and what makes them work, but those conversations are not angled in the right way. They do not present what is needed. And I think it's important to have it on the right foundation. And that is what we're going to be talking about on this episode. This is a 2-part series. On the second episode, we're going to be talking about how to identify a good partner. What is the, in quote, science that you can use that will help you know, okay, I am aligned to this person and we can make this work. Because better choices will help you have a better reality in terms of partner or even better options because you are using the right lens to look out for partners. And that's where we're going to talk about VVD. What makes a good relationship are people that are interested and committed to being in a relationship. Relationships work because people put in the work. There is a facade or imagination of people that are not in relationships that, those people in that relationship, that good relationship, are having the time of their life because they have no challenges. They are a perfect match. Which other one? There is money. That there is money on. There's money. What other one do people do a lot? Because she's shorter than the guy, or because the guy is taller than the girl. Let me see which other one. Because they are both fine. Yeah, because they are both aesthetically pleasing. That's why they are such a good couple. But we know for a fact, from facts actually, that everything I've said, do not primarily make a good relationship. Like, you have people that are so fine that are broken up. You have people that are not the same height that are broken up. You have people that are rich and are broken up. I think I want to dwell on this wealth thing a bit. There is this old buzz about how money is like a key element that needs to be in a relationship for people to really enjoy themselves in the relationship. And while there is some validity in the fact that money helps relationships or finance helps romance, I'd like to say that before romance can even happen or finance can help romance, there needs to be more fundamentals. And the fundamentals are not spoken about enough. People talk more about how if this person is fine and this person has money, then this person is a good partner. That is one way to set yourself up for breakfast. We know of celebrities and we know of countless people that are rich and they broke up. We have people that are rich and it didn't work out. And it's not because the money was there. I know there's this funny trend on social media where when two very popular people break up, then they will now take a picture of the guy and be like, imagine breaking up with this. Or the girl, like, imagine breaking up with that. And I'm just like, it shows how surface level a lot of thoughts are about relationships. Like, relationships are more about the UX than they are about the UI. It's about the experience more than it is about what it looks like. And if you don't understand that, you will constantly have criterias and things that you are making negotiable or non-negotiable without truly understanding what it takes to make a relationship work. Laju Iren's book, Pastor Laju Iren, my pastor, she's an amazing teacher, amazing preacher, and also she's an amazing writer and an amazing film producer. Thank God for Pastor Laju. Shout out to Pastor Laju. You should check her book, Dating Intelligently. You really get a lot of things that I'm talking about. But let me get down to this so that we don't spend too much time on this. So I believe that for relationships to work, people need to be committed enough. I don't know if I've recorded or said on this podcast before, but one of the reasons why our generation, and my generation, I'm talking millennials, Gen Z, I'm in the middle of millennial and Gen Z, because on some websites it says 1995, while on some other websites, I feel like those websites are wrong and they are owned by proper, not borderline Gen Z people. They say 1997. I and my wife talk about this all the time because she thinks she's Gen Z and I am not a Gen Z, but that is another discussion for another time. But basically, I feel like people underrate the place of three things: understanding, commitment, and love. Love in its true sense. Now, understanding is the basis on which relationships are built. If you have very little understanding of your partner, there is a very high tendency that you guys would have conflict and it just you won't be able to fix it. And what it takes to build understanding is conversations about the people in the relationship. You get, not about things, but about the people in the relationship. So talking about your background, talking about your fears, talking about your dreams, talking about your ambitions, talking about things you don't like, the things you love, the things you like a bit, things that you can manage, things that you think you can manage. And all of those conversations are the things that form understanding. But first, there needs to be an alignment for understanding to even exist. That's one. Second thing I said was commitment. Commitment is the desire and the drive to want to make a relationship work. If there is no commitment in a relationship, it doesn't matter how much money you guys have, it doesn't matter how fine you guys are, it doesn't matter how popular you are and how many likes you get on any social media platform. It doesn't matter how much people gas in your comment section. You will not be able to make relationships work. Now, one thing about commitment is commitment dwindles over the years with every failed attempt. Like law of diminishing commitment. And this is why it is important to heal. So a person can get into a committed relationship of like 3 years and then it doesn't work out, and then they totally throw away the idea of committing to a relationship. Like most people say, being an order in the relationship. Because like, it's not be me, they will catch unguarded, you get me, I know they cry, all those kind of things. But that is a result of not actually going through the pain or fully experiencing what you've experienced. And even after you've experienced it, you also need to tell yourself that it is part of whether a relationship works or not. Every relationship might work and might not work. There is no certainty that any relationship would work, even after you've applied all the things you've applied, which is why it's important to be more intentional about the scrutiny or like the selection process of the person you're in a relationship with, more than it is to try to fix something that couldn't work to start with. I feel like a lot of people's dream is we met today, we started dating 2 weeks later. And yes, there are exemptions. There are people that have done that and it worked for them. But there has to be a commonness before that. And that commonness is built. Some people we have similar backgrounds, we have similar values, we are good to go. But that alone will not carry you thus far. Because I explained like this to some of my friends. I say, when two people meet, attraction is what sparks most relationships. So people are attracted to each other, and then while they are attracted to each other intensely, attraction is an anchor, and it goes into the water and it holds the ship, whether it's a friendship or a relationship. It holds it in place. But over time, attraction loses its weight. Its weight. Oduduwa, please. Attraction loses its weight, and it now becomes less of value, because like other things need to be added to that attraction for a relationship to actually properly sail to marriage. That was a very nice illustration, I just thought. But yeah, so to attraction you add understanding, to understanding you add commitment, to commitment you add love. And love in this sense is not love like I love you. Is the actual, intentional, what many would describe as the wholesome love that is described in the Bible. And they are right to describe it as that, because everything good comes from God, and God is inspiration of that. Now, if you truly understand that love is the totality of all the things that it takes it to work, that's why I said it's the last thing that will be added. The commitment, the attraction, the understanding, and the love would keep you going. But it's a mix of all of that makes it work. And it's not in that you cannot see you not see selfishness. You cannot see lack of vulnerability, because in that smoothie of an anchor, you have everything that you need. So a balanced understanding of all you need for a relationship to sustainably work will help you make the right choices. I think this is very important to understand, that there is not just one thing that leads to a good relationship. It's not just one aspect. It's a whole blend of many things. And the important things are not spoken about enough on social media. I remember reading a comment about like a couple days ago, and then someone said, that one guy told me he wasn't a Christian, and I did not mind. I was like, I can work with that. And then I later found out that he was. Said he used to worship like all sorts of weird gods, and I was shocked, because if you are not moved by somebody that is not worshiping the true one God, and you are shocked that he's worshiping some other God, should you really be compromising on the fact that he's worshiping? He's not, like, you shouldn't even bother if he's not worshiping God. So it's important to understand that out of relationships will flow more things. In a relationship, you open your heart to an understanding. And if you allow somebody that does not have all these basic elements that will sustain the relationship, over time you would be influenced, rightly or wrongly, and that will affect your perception of what comes next. This is why people have said yes to people that they should not have even moved close to, and because of that, they are now adults that do not think in a straight line. They think, you just can't trust anybody. You can't just, and to them they are normal, but they are actually fighting with what the decisions that they made in the past that they shouldn't have. So relationships are very, very, very huge investments. You need to be able to think through and understand how it works. I'm also going to shout out another book, In Pursuit of the One by Tolu Oludapo. PT's book is so good, and I can recommend it because I've read a good amount of it, and it's really good. And I think if you want to get the right person, it's a very good resource. In fact, I'm going to be giving out one copy of the book. At the end of this 2-part series, I'm going to be giving out a copy of that book. And I want you to basically just tell me at the end of this 2-part series what you learned. And we'll select somebody and give the person the book. The hashtag is Divide Podcast. So look forward to the next one. The next episode is one I really enjoy because I sort of broke down something very fundamental that would be a good formula to work with. So, thank you very much and see you at the next episode. Hasta. Cheers.